Alright guys, welcome back. Today's car is the 77 Trans Am. This is a pretty fun car to drive. Sounds aggressive, looks aggressive. What can be said about the Trans Am? Obviously Burt Reynolds made this thing super famous with the banded edition, black and gold deal. Which I really wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do black and gold, so I did blue. I did the official pace car logo on the hood instead. This car is a pretty rad car. I mean, it is really definitely right before the 80s, very 70s style. Very cool car though. Pretty simple interior. Nice though, it'd be kind of nice to drive. I like the fact that it's a smaller steering wheel. So one thing I never really liked about older cars is the huge steering wheels some of those cars had. This one has a pretty decent small one, very sporty. So this car is another car in Gran Turismo that suffers from the lack of a sixth gear. Again, I don't know why they don't let us put in an additional gear. I mean, you put a full dog box transmission in the thing, but you can't add a gear. It's kind of it's lacking their polyphony. Get with it. But anyway, even without the sixth gear, this thing does perform pretty admirably well. Even at just under 600 performance points, this thing really does get up and go. Has plenty of speed, plenty of acceleration. And it's one of the few cars that have white letter tires on the car. As far as a street car, standard road car, which I don't understand. Like, that's something they could add very easily and quickly. I don't think it would be very difficult at all for them to add the option to have white letter tires on your car. I mean, come on, man. Like, for us guys that like the older muscle cars and stuff like that, man, that was standard. You always have white letter tires and shit. But anyway, a small thing to bitch and complain about. Let's go ahead and pop out. Yeah, we smoked that Viper. Let's go ahead and pop out and see what we did to achieve the tuning ratio that I feel actually works with the car. Yeah, that was an ouchie. Brakes are important. Even though I put them on there, I wasn't paying attention at that turn. But we're not here to discuss my lack of driving skills. We're here to talk about the car. Because I'm more interested in the car, I'm more interested in building the car, I'm more interested in designing the car than I am in being the best, fastest race car driver ever. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. So we're sitting at 344 horsepower, 4,000 RPM, which is low RPM. This thing needs to be like 7,000 RPM. We brought it down to 2,800 pounds, and we supercharged it. So why did I supercharge it? Well, because I hate turbo, for one, and for two, even though it's very quiet, you can't really hear it too well, I do like the whine of a supercharger, and I like the fact that there's no lag, so on and so forth. So here are our specs here. I'll let you go ahead and look at that. Our power to weight balance is 58-42, which is a little not the greatest, but it's not bad. So obviously sports tires, height adjustable sports suspension. So originally the rear was lower than the front. They had the rear down to 80. Like, I hate that look, because then you're sitting up like this. I hate that. I liked it the other way around. So if you were around during the 80s and there were still 70s cars out and about, a lot of them had what was called a California lift. And what you do is you lift the rear end up and drop the front and just give it that like look. I always like that. There's your compression and expansion. We just bumped that up one. Most of the cars that I do, that's all I do. And I even out the natural frequency, and it seems to handle really well on every car. I've not had a car that it doesn't do well on that. So we did put a racing intercooler, low-end torque supercharger, because again, with these courses, there's not too many courses where you can open the thing wide up, and by the time you get up that fast, you're near your top speed anyway. So a mid-range or a high-range supercharger or turbocharger just doesn't make sense to me unless you're doing the special stage Root X, which is just a gigantic oval. Sports air filter, semi-racing muffler, racing exhaust manifold, sport brakes, racing pads, semi-racing clutch flywheel, which is like a twin plate clutch. You got your lightweight carbon propeller shaft. We did 2 stages of weight reduction, and we increased body rigidity. Now, all that makes this Trans Am actually pretty viable. I do a lot of racing on lobby races, and I don't always win, obviously. Like I said, I'm not a very fast racer, but I like to be cautious, and I don't like to hit other cars. This car is more for looks, or if you're doing like muscle car races, this is a pretty good choice for those. Because it is a little bit late in the game with muscle cars, it actually handles a bit better. That's the one thing I could say about this Trans Am versus, say, like your other muscle cars, with the exception of maybe the Mach 1. The Mach 1 does handle pretty well. But the Trans Am is very crisp handling, very clean handling, even though it's big front engine, rear wheel, long front, short rear. It is a great car. So there it is. I hope you guys like the car. I hope you guys like what I did to it. Let me know how you guys set up your Trans Am if you drive these fire chickens at all. You might not even like these things. I personally love these cars. I love the Trans Am or the fire chicken or the fire turkey, whatever you want to nickname it. Mullet missile. I love this thing. I think it's a great car. So anyway, guys, thanks a bunch for watching. I'll see you on the next one where we're going to do the R34 Skyline. And no, we are not going to Fast and Furious it. No, we are not going to Paul Walker that damn thing. All right, see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated.